Little.
Better not talk about what you were talking about. We're all.
Hey, man. We'll all keep it light, you know.
You've drawn onto the censorship side of the road now. Is that where you're at, Casey? Is right?
God consciousness.
Okay. No censoring allowed. No censoring allowed.
No, man, I say that until I get spun, and then I punch the top of the speed bag thing with both hands, and I'm just gonna behave for a couple days because I can't start no fires because I can't even handle myself.
I used to be the worst for provoking on Facebook. Like, I used to love it, and especially when I first got into recovery, my favorite thing to do was run to the aid of every addict. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So like when people would be like, "Oh, it's not a disease. It's not a disease." I'd put fucking paragraphs. I'd be up for days fighting with these fucking guys on Facebook. Right. And I remember it got to
real life.
To me. Well, I toned down a lot after I got into it with a guy, and the guy comes searching for me to fucking kill me. he was actually going to kill me because I had provoked him to a point. And it was at that point I was just like, you know what, man? That's not the mountain I'm dying on today. Right. You know, I'm good. I don't want to get shot over something fucking stupid, right? Yeah. You know, okay, cool. You don't think the same way I do? That's cool. You go over there and don't think that.
Brianna says, cut it out already. We haven't even done anything wrong yet, Brianna. Never mind. Jesus Christ. Right? Not on camera. We waited to hit the live button until the really bad stories were over. So,
where's Jared at, anyways?
He just ran to pick up Brianna. They'll be back here right away. Yep.
Oh, DV.
Yeah. DV.
Oh, there he is.
DV. Yeah.
There we go. That's
the
quite
man, the myth,
the legend. Like a fucking. Just got an
how many batteries does it take?
Right. Jesus.
Hold on a second. If he's going to be on this, I'm getting ready. Okay. That's for the hoodie. Let's do it. Cool. All right.
I don't know. I might stick with this look. I don't know. Because we kind of fucking producer feel, right? Or like a manager. I'm applying for your manager position there, Chad. I'm going to fucking bring your band to the next. Yeah. You can come out to Thailand and play some shows, rock the fucking house.
Oh man, I'd love that. I would. Oh, go ahead.
No, you'd look good at the desk of my sober living.
I actually do peer support at a place out here called the Redemption House, and it's a great little place. It's very faith based, right? But they're very 12-step oriented, and it's a great facility for the men in like they'll take them at the early stages, right? It's like the progression.
Where are you at?
I'm in Oshawa, Ontario. It's kind of outside Toronto, like probably about an hour east of Toronto.
Does this man's know where I'm at?
Where are you at?
Ohio. Are you not able to go live still?
Who's that?
Who is it live?
I asked Casey if he wasn't. Is he still not able to go live?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you were setting that shit up for.
Well, it's not set up. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay. I asked him.
What's it not on?
It just doesn't show it. Okay. Oh, what's up, Chuck, with your damn glasses, man?
What are my night glasses? You came in
with that hoodie. So we all had to kind of do one of these.
Yeah. I got some purple sunglasses.
All right, put them on. Let's do it.
Well, hey, Denny is saying that Casey is live.
Yeah, Fulio.
Well,
I told
Fulio.
Look at right here. It says
it's not showing us that you are. So
Chad.
whatever.
It says me, you, and Chad. Are the
I can see you.
Okay, let's
it's all good.
Am I a ghost?
Casey's live. Anybody that's live coming in from Casey, say Casey in the messages, please, in the comments.
What is going on, everybody?
I want you to say.
All right, Amber Screw says he's there. Okay, well.
Okay, if Amber says it, Amber, that's the gospel as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Right?
Oh, hey, hold on. I got to do the intro in this voice, Chuck.
Oh, are you going to do it? You're going to do it? Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to BlakAsh Radio. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
What's
going on, everybody? What's up? If
Thanks
you
for
guys
jumping on.
Yeah, if you're jumping on, leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Drop some sobriety dates.
Yes.
We're gonna wait a few minutes before we hop into it.
Yeah, right.
I just booked my 3-year medallion last night.
awesome.
Yeah,
dude, that's
sweet,
awesome,
man.
bro.
You, bro. Good for you.
Yeah.
Right?
May 31st, 2021 was the last day I did a drug.
Wow.
No shit,
Yeah.
eh? No shit.
Yeah. It's been a journey, man.
No shit, man. No shit.
Yeah.
10 days for Denny. Hey, man, it all starts at 10 days, right? What do you got
right.
there? What's this now? What's this? What's the
so it's a
paint?
I got this. I made it. We got it at a restaurant. So yo, let me tell you something. Okay, I'm not gonna say any names. They know who they are, but I got a message. I got a inbox earlier that they said they saw my episode on Ian Bick's podcast, and that that is what inspired them to completely get sober and change their life.
That is
And
awesome,
it's just absolute, like it's awesome just because like we know what we're doing is helping people, you know. But it's just cool, you know, that for somebody to say, you know, you're seeing you on this is what gave me the push to do it, you know.
Yeah.
You know what?
So
I'll tell you a similar story. Dr. Lisa, my co-host, who you know of anyway, to be honest with her on the Weekend Ramble.
Mm-hmm.
She had Lisa's a psychiatrist up in Calgary.
Cool.
She specializes in addiction. She co-hosts a Weekend Ramble with me every weekend, so it's pretty cool. But there's a mom in her that's part of her daughter's dance class or whatever. I probably shouldn't even say that much, but and I'll leave the anonymity at that point. But who reached out to her a while back about a friend that was, you know, having a hard time, coke, whatever, and then reaches out to her again just recently, like a few days ago or a week ago, and kind of dancing around it. And finally, Lisa says, "Are you the friend?" She says, "Yeah." And so Lisa says, like, of all the people in her circle, she's the last one that she would ever imagine has been dancing with, you know, Xannies and coke and whatever, just doing the whole thing. And it turns out Lisa's never even talked to her about this. It's not something that would come up in circles. She doesn't talk to her about her brother's struggle because, again, it's not the mom circle thing that comes up, right? She found the podcast on Lisa's social media, started watching it, and it is 100%. She said, like, that is why she was able to approach Lisa and feel that she trusted her, and because nobody in this poor lady's life knows. Nobody, not her husband, not her best friend, and so she's like in this all alone, right? But
really,
it was just like, yeah, that's what I woke up to this morning. Was just like this conversation with Lisa, and it was just like, fuck yeah, right?
Well, those are the things that I think keep us going, just as addicts. I mean, so the one thing I've learned is when somebody comes forward with anything, especially like addiction, whether it's sexual trauma, you know, when you're surrounded by people, you know, that are in recovery or some form of recovery, it takes one person to come up and go like, "Hey man, this is why I'm all fucked up," you know. And then it never ceases to amaze me how many people are like, "Hey, me too." And then people who go, "Wow, I can't believe you admitted that or you said something about that." You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, those
the phone's being crazy.
Hey, let me run this intro. I'm gonna run the recovery as possible intro.
Okay. Well, Casey's doing whatever Casey's doing there, and then okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna run the BlakAsh one because I don't have the right one pulled up.
Okay, whatever. Bro.
But we're gonna run the other intro.
Yeah, that's it's on your end. I do all the hard work. You get to pick that.
Well.
Get some polish for the cross, bro.
Did somebody change all this? Because all my videos are gone, all the background's gone.
I switched the brand because I couldn't figure out what to do, so I just added this fucking thing in randomly.
Oh, hold on, then let me change the brand.
So change whatever you got to change. Hey guys, who's ever jumping in here? Hey Boston, good to see you back in again, guys. Rich, Amber, Denny, drop some sober dates, say your hellos, say where you're from, what platform you're listening on, if you can.
We're going to run this intro, and we'll be back, and we'll introduce everybody.
Sounds good.
Oh, and there's Casey. Let's add him back. All right.
There he is.
Rough. Hey, no, I had a rough one tonight. You guys got all this positive stuff, and I'm all about positivity. But I walked in a funeral home tonight for the first time, definitely since I've been sober, but first time in a minute. And the boy in the casket was...
I will never see that intro without getting a little bit emotional.
Yeah, ever. And that is rest in peace to Earl Van, one of the amazing recovery advocates out there that is no longer with us.
I was just thinking, bro, we should add in at the end of that that rest the RIP. You know,
did we lose him to the disease or?
Yes. Yeah, we did. Yeah, he was doing all that, bro, and he relapsed, and 2 weeks later we lost him. Right. So, Ma Van
so not uncommon, man. Like that is such a common fucking story.
Yeah, right. So Ma Van, his mom is often in on BlakAsh here in the comments and checking us out. And I think every time she comes in, I am like absolutely, honored to see her here. Right. She's continuing on with outreach work and all that.
Yeah, we're actually partnering with Hope on Deck, which is an organization that Earl started with his mother. And and so we are going to be getting some stuff into the works, but yeah, we're going to be doing some outreach in Kensington with them and carrying on the message out here in New York.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to help, guys. I'm
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Just real quick.
Lisa, Dr. Lisa's in the house. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. Jamie Tall episode dropped tonight. It's live on all platforms.
Nice.
So when we're done, go check it out. This is the second time that she's been on. She was our very first guest that we ever had on. So
really?
So she was our very first guest.
Next, hey? Right? Like right?
Yeah, shit. Jesus, Chuck. 2 years.
I got to take out Casey though, because he's got that fucking autism thing going on for him. So,
but so we talked about harm reduction and how great harm reduction is for us. So, yeah, go check it out when you guys are done. All right, Casey, what's up? Melissa Sober Now is in the building. Hey, Melissa. All right, Casey, did you not see when you were talking? Did you not see that the video was playing?
No, dude,
you were just like talking.
No, it just started. Like I disappeared.
Well, and I don't know why we could even hear him. We shouldn't have been able to hear him.
I had to mute your mic. See, unfortunately, I had to mute it. But
it said it was muted.
But then we were able to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, right. It's like somebody shut him up. The intro's playing. Right?
Hey, it could have been a lot worse. Let's just say that. You know what I mean? I could have said something about Thai boys or something. Here,
I gotta check on Brianna real quick. Why don't you introduce Chad and Casey?
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, you too, man.
You guys.
He's screwed in the head just like me.
Checking in, drop some sober dates. Let us know where you're from, guys. Really do appreciate you jumping in to watch us here.
Let us know what I can't see shit.
Right? What's that now? No, I got the comments under control, bro. Don't worry about it. We're good, right? Don't go pissed off trying to figure things out. Look what happens. We don't like you are. You just stay focused. This is happening right now. Okay, just stay focused. Thank you.
Man, my Friday nights have changed.
Ain't that true?
We can talk about that. When Jared and I talked about doing this collab, right? Which, if you haven't got the name BlakAsh, it's got BlakList Radio and Ash's Awesome Podcast, right? Nice. That was Jared's brainchild on the name, but it's like, you know what? Let's do it Friday nights. And that's like Relapseville, right? Like, let's give some people something else to do, something to pay attention to, right? On the night they make the most tempted, right? Fucking paydays, right? You know.
I know that was always a trigger for me, man. If I had money, when I had money, when I didn't have money, when I breathed, when I woke up,
when I breathed, that's the one.
They were triggers.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good thing to talk about in this episode, guys. This is the whole trigger thing, right?
Yeah. We don't have life's a trigger. Everything's a trigger.
I say that all the time, man. Yeah. Life's a trigger. Like, I can't. If somebody wants to drink around me or even have a puff, like smoke some dope or whatever, as long as it's not like crack, it's weed.
I try to just stay out of it. See, I'm a musician, so I mean, I have to be in bars. First time I walked into a bar clean. Yeah. I walked in, man, and I was fucking terrified. I was just like, right? Like, but here's the cool thing. The guys in my band, they're not like me. You know what I mean? Those guys have never even done a line of blow. Right? Oh. They can have like one beer.
Fucking
right? Nice. What the fuck, dude? I'm so fucking jealous. Like, like to have one of anything, man. Like, you know what I mean? But they're You know what I mean? So fortunately, I do have a good foundation in those situations. But I'm telling you, man, like it fucked me up. I did not want to. Right. But now it's like I really don't care. I mean, we're in a time when weed is legal. Alcohol's always been legal, and you're not going to avoid it. I love it when people like. I see people share their stories of strength and hope and whatever, right? And a lot of times they'll go, well, I don't want to get drug specific because, and it's just like, you know what, man? The world doesn't give a fuck that you're a drug addict.
Nope.
These little trigger things that everybody's hiding from, they're going to be there, dude. So what are you going to do? You're going to avoid walking down the street. Like in Oshawa right now, there's so many homeless people everywhere you go. And I was walking home the other day and there's a dude doing some fetty standing right on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
doing a blast off the tinfoil, man.
Jelly, dude. I'm so jealous of that stuff.
Nobody cares because it's so prevalent right now, and it's terrifying, right? But I mean, triggers aren't going anywhere, man. And you better learn to man up and fucking deal with it because life doesn't wait.
Life is a trigger, man. There's so many fucking things, right? So,
but it's us learning how to deal with it.
And that said, I feel like it's my responsibility just as a fucking human, but never mind somebody that's having, a growing following, just be really mindful that for some people, that is a big deal. Yeah. Right. Like, and it's like, okay, I hope you get to a point in your recovery where, seeing a bottle on the internet isn't going to be the thing that tips you over or that you're worried about tipping you over. Right. But in the meantime, I just won't put a bottle up on the internet. How's that sound? Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's really easy to be respectful, man. Like, I watch people like, for instance, just watching that intro, when I see Buddy backing up I had to like do one of these because it was like, and whatever though, man, like what am I going to, hey, don't play that. You know what I mean? But I mean, I just knew enough to kind of be like, and it had nothing to do with the actual, it just made me, it gave me that feeling. Like as soon as I see that, it's like, oof, like I remember that rush. Right.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? But it is what it is. And and I mean, it's not going anywhere. And I may feel like that till the day I'm dead,
Exactly.
I shared this story the other day. I was like, where I work, I detail cars, right? And so it was a summer day and I work with another addict. And the truck pulled in, and on the passenger side of this car, it was all like frosty, cold, delicious beer. And it was hot in there, man. It was so humid. And within seconds of seeing that, I looked at my buddy I was working with, who's like I said, he's also an addict. And I said, you know what? I said, do you see that booze right there? He said, yeah. I go, look how delicious it looks. I said, I'm going to snag 2 or 3 of them. I'm going to go in the back. I'm going to drink them. And then the guy's not going to notice they're gone till he gets home. Then he's going to call in. I'm going to deny it. And by the time they figure it out, I'll have to admit to a relapse. I'm going to go home and cry to my wife and tell her, do the whole, I'm sorry, I'm an addict, I relapsed. And then, I had this whole thing planned out in 35 seconds, right? That's how my addict brain works, right? I had the whole manipulation. I was going to cry and beg for forgiveness and the whole bit. And that's how fast that happens. But you know what? I called myself out on it really quick. And I'm never going to get away from those situations.
No, you're not.
So,
no, you're not.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If I can call myself out, it cuts it in half automatically.
Casey here. Casey, recently, with some of the struggles that you were going through in that, how was that like triggering? Was that triggering for you? Was that empowering for you? What was that?
I got to fucking leave, man.
What's that? Casey, can you hear me?
It's frozen.
Or is it frozen now? Is it unfrozen?
It's because there's too many.
It's because what?
I don't know.
What did you say, Casey?
It's
too many.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Well,
Hi.
Here we are. Right?
Well,
stick around, guys. Casey wasn't the only star of the show, right?
Miss just the 4 of us.
Miss Brianna, why don't you say something really quick?
Yeah, you've always got something to say. What's going on over there? You're being quiet today.
She's not feeling good right now.
Okay.
So
I have nothing really to say.
I know, but you talk about it to get your mind off everything.
Jared, just run with this, bro. This doesn't happen much, right?
That's how you can tell I'm not feeling
okay
right
kidding,
now.
eh? No kidding. Just rub her feet and say it'll be okay, bro. That's all you got to do right now.
I just rub her butt and tell her it'll be okay.
Whatever, right? Whatever. I mean, everyone's got their thing. Everyone's
I
got
brought
their
my
thing.
butt, but he won't spoon me.
I spooned her this morning when I came home from work. I left at 3:30 this morning, and I got home about 5:15.
And I still hadn't gone to bed.
And she still hadn't gone to bed, and I went and I spooned her.
Aww.
It lasted for a couple minutes.
But I tell you this though, like 9 times.
When you said
out
that
of
in the
10,
group chat, I thought you were talking in code. It was actually just spooning. Lame.
Yeah, Chuck.
Right.
Listen, we're adults. We're not going to use code. If we're going to say something, we're going to be direct.
Well, I don't know. So when you say that you were doing downward doggy, were you doing yoga?
That's you. That's yours.
That was you.
That is yours.
I
You
literally
say
never
that
used
shit.
the word downward doggy. That was you
Oh,
all the
shit.
time.
That's some Thailand slang.
You said when you were doing yoga.
Yeah, you're the one that said, "Let's go do some downward doggy." To your old lady on air. I'm
What
just
the
saying.
fuck is downward doggy?
So yes,
fuck
yeah,
is that?
downward doggy. Then yes, that's what I
the
mean.
yoga position,
Okay.
unless Jared's talking about it, and then it's
Yeah.
dirty.
If you hear me talking about it, it means someone's getting fucked in the ass. I'm sorry. It's just-
Whoa! Wow, that was way more than I thought. Right? Okay.
Not when he refers to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
what?
He's just saying that you keep talking about doing downward dog with me, and then you just broadcast that you mean it's fucking me in the ass. No, which is not what it's code for.
No, we changed
Okay.
that. No, got nothing to say thing in a hurry, didn't we,
No,
Jared?
hold on.
Look at you go.
I gotta
Yeah, right?
say a disclaimer. I'm sorry, people that get offended, but we are kind of unfiltered.
Triggers.
We're unfiltered here, and I don't want people to get upset. But we do have a sense of humor, so I am sorry. Maybe
Sorry, Chad. This is how
Can
the
we just switch this
conversation.
up and get some fucking comments? Can we just do that? And like before we really
Chad,
awkward?
Can I come on every Friday?
Okay. That's why when we sat down and recorded with you the other day, that's why I
Yes.
suggested you coming on a Friday, because I could tell that you would be okay with our humor and it wouldn't be uncomfortable, and you would
Yeah.
laugh and
All
enjoy
right.
yourself too. So
because not everybody's okay with our humor, but
Oh,
No.
dude, you have
We
no
have-
idea.
we have like humor Fridays and stuff like that. You know, so, Chuck, we
Yeah.
need to start making a disclaimer. In the very beginning. So.
didn't
You
you
should
do
have
one
heard the
on last
story.
week?
You should have heard the story we told off camera.
Oh, really?
I involved lady voice. I'm just saying, right?
Just-
It wasn't my
yeah.
story. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
you just did the Oshawa salute.
Hey, ladies.
Ooh.
Ooh, Chad, let's see who's deeper. Oh my
I love it.
Speaking the lady voice.
No, my
Yeah.
mind went somewhere else when you said that.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was
Now
a
you're
scene,
the-
man.
Okay, moving on. So let's go through some.
Yeah,
some comments.
Okay, you got the comments, bro. You did the comments.
Oh Jesus Christ! Well, hold on now.
I feel like
You
a
want me to
bird
do the
over
comment?
here. I
I
hate
can,
it.
but I get so
No, no.
like messy
got
with
it.
them.
I got it. It's okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Rich Volkman. I'm just gonna kind of go because a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Anger is a big trigger for me. It can lead me to my fuck it attitude, and recently I have had it. It makes me uncomfortable in my own skin, restless, irritable, and discontent.
That's resentments, man. Resentments are the shortcut to relapse, right? 100. Yeah. Give me something to be resentful at. I'll find an excuse in it for sure. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Lucretia Blackstone says Atlanta, Georgia, with some booty peaches. I don't know what that means.
Or maybe just some peaches.
Oh, because peaches in Georgia. Okay, all right. See,
Oh,
See?
okay. There you go. Sure,
so
there we go.
this is
Mine right in the gutter.
Lisa said, "Is there a link to send people to join and watch?"
I actually sent the link to her personally, but
Okay.
you can go to any one of our pages and it's there. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll post up mine right here. It's just kind of unfair to them because like now it's going to my page, not there. So whatever.
Asshole. He's always got to be the center of attention. Jesus Christ.
Somebody's got to be the center of attention, right? Like always, somebody's got to be, right? So
I had
yeah.
somebody define anger to me one time as it just being not getting what you want at the end of the day. You know what I mean? When you think of the root of every anger, any source of anger comes from not getting things your way.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Whether it's
And we can
justified
beat
or
it
not,
down whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah, right. 100%. I agree with that, bro. I agree with
So
that.
once you let it go and you fucking surrender, man, it doesn't mean you don't break character from time to time, dude, because I can fucking lose my shit still. But at least I recognize it later and go, oops. I get to say sorry these days.
Dr.
I don't
Lisa
fucking
said,
like it though.
Dr. Lisa said, "Anger's a mask. Good to explore what's under it."
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a secondary emotion, right? We all know that. That's the first thing we learn. It's always secondary. Anger's not even a real thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. If you think about it, it's something is always the root of it, right?
Yeah.
And that's resentments too. My sponsor's the king of sponsor's the king of always bringing that shit right back to me. No matter what I'm angry at, no matter what my resentment is, he always finds a way to bring it back to myself.
No shit, eh?
And I always tell him to fuck off for that. But
in your experience, or in the sober house that you're living at, or whatever, did the feeling wheel? Did you ever have that? We had a detox. I'll tell you what. At the time, I didn't realize it, and I did relapse after my last stay at detox. But with the benefit of hindsight, having an emotional lexicon, and we actually did a whole series on it with my therapist friend Ryan Backgate. But that emotional lexicon, or a way to define your feelings, like with intent, to me was one of the most valuable things that I learned. I just didn't know it at the time. Wasn't until afterwards. Because if you can break it, like you said, if you can understand that your anger is a secondary emotion and go back to what's causing that anger, really, is it because I'm feeling, I can't remember what would be inside the anger now, but help me out, anybody with that. But
well, I know myself, like vulnerability is fucking hard for me. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And if I feel that vulnerability has been breached, if I let you in and you fuck me around, that hurt so bad that my instinct was always to go to anger. I'd almost want to kill the person that hurt me, and it's like, and it took a long time before I could go, and I'm blessed today because I get to look at somebody and go, why would you say something like that? That really hurt my feelings, what you said, instead of fuck you, you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I, to be able to look at people today and go, I'm afraid.
That's,
what I mean? I do it often now because I know that 90% of any of my anger came from fear. Whether it was, I was afraid I was going to be disrespected. I was afraid that somebody was going to take advantage of me, whether I was afraid somebody was going to hurt me. It always came back to
afraid
fear.
You're going to look bad. There's a,
or somebody's going to believe a lie about you, or somebody's going to talk shit about you, and you're trying to head it off at the pass, or you're trying to control it. I mean, control is a big one too, right? Sitting and waiting for the ball to drop is not preparing. It's trying to control the situation, right?
Dr. Lisa says, anger requires two things: a sense of injustice and perceived intent. She corrected herself with perceived intent, right? And Lisa knows what she's talking about. She may or may not be a psychiatrist. So,
well, with the name doctor, I'm going to take her word for it.
Tell you what, hey, and anybody that's listening, Jared, before you do that, I'm just going to do a quick plug. The Weekend Ramble guys on the Asher's Awesome podcast. It's Dr. Lisa and myself. This week we're going to round out our 4-part series on trauma with Mike Miller from the Autism Treatment Center here in Thailand. Absolutely, those episodes are the ones I am most proud of to date. This is the series that we've done on trauma. So check them out, guys. Right, check them out. Website's up on my name, or it was until Jared took it off again. There.
No, it was just on there right now. Where did it go? I just
did it go away with the comment? Maybe that's why.
Speaking of trauma,
yeah, that's what it was.
Speaking of trauma,
Jared keeps us on task, so let's see what he's going to do, and then we'll jump into that, Chad.
Jared, man.
Brianna was going to say something, so I was trying to interject for her.
Oh,
okay.
I was going to ask Chad a question, like with what you were talking about, and obviously other people can answer this too. Being in recovery, how do you handle those second chances or third chances with people? Like, do you give them more opportunities? Like, how does that feel, and how do you work through those emotions and handle that? Because I'm sure it's a lot different now. It
is. Well, once I understand my role in it, first and foremost, I have to figure out what my role in any kind of anger or resentment is, and 90% of the time, when things go left, it's because of the way I've reacted to it. Right? So it's like somebody can wrong me all they want, but if I react like an animal, that's not helping anything. Right? And then it always tends to make the situation worse. But as far as giving people another chance, so there's a few things that I take into consideration before I can look into something and try to forgive. Like, first, and it's an old cliche saying, but the best apologies are changed behaviors, right? And an apology without changed behavior is manipulation, right? So if I see someone that genuinely is doing the work to show me that they're sorry for something they did to me, I can always forgive. And I will never stay mad at a drug addict for doing drug addict things. You know what I mean? And the problem is like, for me, when I've been hurt by people in addiction, it wasn't personal. They would have done that to anybody. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that I was usually on the receiving end of it, but I was doing the same shit. You know what I mean? But it's harder when you're not fucked up on dope and it's happening around you. Cause everybody I love in my life are drug addicts, my family, my wife, the people that are involved in my life, like they're all drug addicts. You know what I mean? And it's like, so whether they're in active use or they're not in active use, there's behaviors, and if you're not doing the internal work, you know what I mean? You're still going to act out on your character defects. Right. Yeah. So, for me to overlook things or forgive things, like it's possible. And I have done it, but I have to see some changes. Right. Because I don't want to, first of all, I don't want to carry it. It gets old on me to stay angry at people because that right? For me to walk around unable to forgive really leaves zero chance for me to be forgiven. You know what I mean? And I've done so many shitty fucking things in active use that if I had to walk around imagining like that no one could ever overlook or see who I am today. Like I know a guy he's been clean 36 years. And this man has saved lives like daily. And I have so much love and respect for this man. Right. But if you bring up his ex-wife, who he was in active use with 36 years ago, and this woman will still, when he talks about her, he goes, oh man, she just thinks I'm a piece of shit. Right. And it's like, there's some people who will always see you as that person.
And you know what the thing is about what other people think of you? It's none of your fucking business.
And that's right.
Yeah. Fuck it.
And then the truth, and a lie about you doesn't change the truth about them. No. Right. And it, you can always like put it this way. And this was an analogy I used. So like when somebody's lying or somebody is toxic or somebody is shitty, but they're fooling people, and that's okay because it's easy to do, man. Like us addicts are fucking clever. Right. So, but if I know, so like if there's a cookie on the table and it's poison and I know it's fucking poison, but somebody has convinced everybody else that it's not poison and they're fucking eating it. I don't give a shit. I know that's poison. I ain't touching it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So they can go and eat all they want. And they can be engaged in this cookie and they can have all this cookie they want. Eventually that cookie is going to fucking poison them. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't have to, whether everybody else believes it's poison or not. I don't care. I know the truth. Yeah. And that's where I'm at today. I don't need to defend. I don't need to, you know what I mean? When I know something is true, I don't even argue. It's like, fair point. Fair point for sure. Right. Yours.
Jared, PSA.
Yep. I was just about to say that. Okay. And then when we're done with that, I want to go back to Kayla's comment. That she left a while back, but let's do the PSA.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. The following PSA is brought to you by The Phoenix. The Phoenix is not just a gym, it's a community where the real weight lifted is not just barbells, but hearts, minds, and spirits. Whether you're in recovery or simply choose to live a sober lifestyle, The Phoenix offers a range of activities from yoga to hiking, all led by people who've walked the path of transformation. So why not aim higher with The Phoenix? The first membership requirement is just 48 hours of sobriety. Rise from the ashes and soar with The Phoenix today. Do you know about naloxone, otherwise known as Narcan? This life-saving medication can reverse an opioid overdose in minutes. You might think, I don't need it, I'm not around opioids. But the truth is, you never know when you'll be in a situation where you could save a life. It's easy to use, and in many places offer it for free or at a low cost. So let's be prepared and look out for each other. Remember, you might not plan on being around opioid use, but you never know when it will be around you, and you could save the life of somebody that loves and is loved. I'm Chuck LaFlange with the Ashes to Awesome podcast, and remember, you are loved. There you go.
And that is our weekly PSA that we like to push.
I don't leave my house without a naloxone kit. Yep. In every bag, I've got about 15 bags hanging. And I'm a 12-stepper, man. Like, abstinence is my gig, but I have zero problem with harm reduction, man. As long as we're taking death out of the equation, I'm good. And I'll tell you one of my reasonings. I knew somebody who was, she had like 6 kids and she was an opiate addict. Right. And here's the thing. The withdrawals from any kind of heroin or opiate, the withdrawals are so painful that people would sooner die in active use than actually go through those withdrawals. Now, to expect a woman, a mother of 6, to lay in bed for a week in the cold sweat, shitting her pants and crying while she's trying to feed some kids, that's pretty fucking arrogant to expect somebody to do that. I mean, those kids still have to be cared for, right? Harm reduction, if it's done right, is very effective.
Harm reduction saves lives.
It does, right? Harm reduction, abstinence, medical marijuana, whatever, all the recovery methods, everything works when you change the goal from being right or trying to instill your beliefs on other people.
Right.
I
refuse to be like that.
Changed to saving lives, everything it all makes sense, right? So you move the goal, move the thinking, right?
Right. That the episode that I mentioned it before, but the one that dropped tonight with Jamie Tall, it's literally titled "Harm Reduction Saves Lives," because that's what we talk about through the whole episode. Was we were talking about harm reduction, and of course, we talk about the negatives that people think about it, but also the positives and whatnot. And I highly recommend. I mean, I'm not plugging it just because it's my show, but go listen to it because it is such a very good episode.
It's wonderful, man.
But and she's like a harm reduction queen out there, doing shit.
I have zero issue with any of it, and I think as long as you're taking death out of the equation, I'm good with that, man. Like, don't fucking die. Like, let's just not have people dying.
Right.
Exactly.
But being so fucking self-righteous.
I want to hit this comment really quick. The Kayla's that we haven't been able to get to. So that's when we were back talking about the whole anger. And so she says, hold on, let me put it on here. How do you get rid of it? Truly the angriest person. Everything pisses me off. The income.
I want to jump in on this one before you get going on a tangent.
Yeah, no, you're good.
That's my niece. She could have just called
really?
Me. That's my niece, Kayla.
Outside perspective. Thanks for jumping in on the convo there, Kayla. For myself, anger is kind of my baby, right? I used to be like, I had an ex call me a rageaholic once. Fuck, I screamed, I yelled all the time, I fought, and then something happened in my life that. And I won't tell it because that's a whole nother story, but I don't care who you are. Months of anger would be totally justifiable. It was awful. It's something that happened. And a fellow that I kind of looked up to is a mentor of sorts. And this is before addiction became a problem and it was still fun. But he said to me, you spend way too much of your time being angry, like way too much of your energy being angry. And I kind of let it fall off my shoulders. And then about a week later, he said, the only thing you can control is how you react. If I kick you in the balls right now, and you get pissed off, the only thing that you can change is not being pissed off. I still kicked you in the balls. So why let it consume you? Right. And for the next since then, and I was in my mid-20s. So for the last 20 years, I work at that every single day. When I find myself getting pissed off, I remind myself it's the only thing I can control is how I react. It's the only thing. And it's a why let it consume you?
And what mountain are you dying on? Right.
Yeah. Right. And fuck that. Life is too short. Like, it is hard being angry. It's just no. Right. So that's my thoughts on it anyway. Right.
I agree.
And getting to that point too, Chuck, like, it doesn't just happen overnight. Like, it's a lot of self-awareness and practice.
And I still reach out on occasion, right? It's like 30 seconds and it's done. And I'm like, okay, I feel bad now. But
like, I don't want people to think like, you just realize that and there you go. Like, it takes work. It takes a lot of work and a lot of
get a dog.
Self-exploration.
Get a dog. You want to not be pissed off? Get a dog that just loves you all the time for everything.
But you can't kick dogs. That's not cool.
No.
Chuck.
Anyway, you'll look at you weird if you do. I'll judge you and shit. No.
Rachel's Adequate Purpose is in the building. What is going on, Rachel?
How the hell are you? Good morning. Good morning. It's morning here, so you could use your awesome. She's got a vibe, man. You could just bottle and sell that. The way she says good morning.
Good morning, baby.
You know, I'm gonna fuck with that every time.
Of course you are. I actually,
That's my favorite
I set up
thing.
my audio through my interface, but it's only got 2 tracks loaded up on it. It's the one that Brianna uses when she sees Jared get undressed. And then another one that's just like scratchy. So yeah.
We'll get some Lil Jon in here.
Yeah. I love that sound, man. That sound makes my heart happy every time I hear it. Right?
That Dave Chappelle skit.
Yeah.
He's in court. What?
I love
it. Here, this will be the last one. There you go.
There you go. Right.
I don't miss that sound.
Does it make you feel like you're back home?
Yeah.
Or in Regina.
Or in Regina.
They don't have guns in Canada. Well, no, they do, but nothing like that, right? No, Canada's not a gun thing, man. That's you guys down there.
Yeah.
Guns and racism. That's more of an American thing. So,
hey, take it easy. It's pretty bad down here too lately. Both things.
Times have changed, eh? Like, holy shit, man. Right?
Yeah.
They sure have. And I often talk about that in something I'm sure you could probably relate to as well, Chad. When meth and Fenty came on scene together, the whole world changed. Because now you got one drug that people will do absolutely anything for, right? The brains tell them they're going to die if they don't get it, and that's Fetty. And another drug that'll keep them awake for 2 weeks at a time doing those things.
Yeah.
So like the level of violence for me, I went 20 some odd years of being every level in the game, all of the different levels. Not once even being a little bit worried about somebody robbing me or anything, to in the course of the last 2 years in active addiction, literally every bad thing you could imagine.
Yeah, meth for me was the fastest, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but meth for me was the fastest way down. Like I did blow for 20 some odd years and I did it, I was a full-fledged addict. Like there was no part-time and half measures of bail is nothing. Right. And I went hard, and it took me 8 months of doing meth and I was in rehab.
Crash and burn. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the game was so different. Like I'll tell you how powerful meth was is a person that I was dealing with back in the day. And this was years ago, so it doesn't matter even who it was, but he got pinched with an ounce of H, an ounce of blow, an ounce of heroin. And he was out on bail within an hour and people were still going to this guy because he had the meth. You know what I mean? And you and that's how powerful that drug is. Nobody gave a fuck. You know what I mean? Everybody just needed it. Right. Yeah, and I'll tell you, when I got arrested, and I was on a meth binge and I got busted leaving a crack house. I got surrounded at gunpoint and my daughter was in the back seat of the car, but I was so wired and I was about to start crashing and I was sitting in the jail cell. And I remember thinking meth withdrawals are so fucking I wouldn't compare them to opiate or heroin or anything like that, but they're still really bad, man. And the headaches and the sickness and the crash, and it is so bad. Then I was sitting in that cell and I was just panicking because I knew I was about to get sick. Right. And the feeling I knew was coming was far more my daughter was screaming at the police station and I was more concerned with that I was going to be sick. Right. That's how terrifying meth withdrawals are. Right. Yeah. So when I see people do it, and I mean, I was doing meth like people do blow. You know what I mean? I was doing Hollywoods. I was doing it mad, one after the other. And it's so unnecessary to the point I'm in mad psychosis. So the withdrawals were so ridiculous. And then, I found fentanyl and I was getting patches, and I just smoked them or chew on them or whatever I could do. Yeah. And I remember I overdosed on those twice. They weren't using Narcan back then. I woke up in the shower with ice cubes in my pants and cold water on me. Right. And both times I woke up and did more.
Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did.
You want some crazy meth stories? Go check out Boston.
Oh, there you go, Boston. Yeah. That's your cue to drop a link in the comments, bro.
Tune in next Friday. Boston will be here with us.
Or tune in next Friday. Boston will be on with
the meth
us.
Bible. Yeah,
but, right. Dude, that dude has. I mean, I've never done meth, but holy crap, that guy has
What was your DOC, Jared?
Fentanyl, opiates. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
down, eh? You love the down.
Yeah.
What about you, Chuck?
Never fucked with that.
I was all about coke, and then switched to the pipe. Things got real bad real fast when I went to crack.
Yeah.
And then towards the last few months was meth. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So meth is different for me, and it never got me high like anything else did. Right. Not until when I put a needle in my arm, it was like I was home.
Yeah. Well, you don't go back, right?
It was like, okay, I'm home. And it's luckily for me, not luckily for me. Well, maybe in the end, my dad passed on October 21st, 22. And for me, that was like it, that was it. Right. So, had that not happened and I would have kept going in the direction I was going, I'm sure meth would have completely ruined me.
Yeah.
But because I was still, when people switch, they switch from crack to meth. Yeah. It's like, it always starts better, but it's going to end worse. Right. Like, believe that. Right. Because you found a cheap drug. You think this is going to be, but no, because, it keeps you awake for 3 weeks at a time. So,
yeah. Well, I remember the last time I did it, I was sitting in my apartment and I was by myself because I got to a point where I didn't, everybody says to me, hey man, do you party? And it's like, no, even when I did it, I didn't party. There was no party. It was me by myself. And the last time I did meth, I was sitting by myself and I was sitting on my couch like this. And I was not even leaned back. I was like on the edge of my couch for 3 days with my TV on the lowest possible volume that I could just sit and kind of hear a bit of it. And I had my phone off and I would tiptoe to the bathroom to piss.
Wow.
And I was just that fucked for 3 days and didn't think I had a problem.
Brianna.
To everybody.
What was your DOC, Brianna?
Fentanyl, coke, and alcohol.
Yeah.
Right.
Which before, when I got sober, I only said I was addicted to fentanyl. Right. But as I've, gone further into my recovery, now I can admit that I was addicted to cocaine and I was an alcoholic.
Fair enough, eh?
So that's some, self-awareness that I've realized through my recovery.
Something we've talked about on the show, like pot and weed for me were never pot and weed.
I was going to say it was the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Maybe in the U.S. it can't. No, I'm just kidding. Fucking Southerns. Anyway. Alcohol and weed were never like a thing for me, right? Like I drank because I was high on blow, but I never it was never the primary. And weed too, it was like, well, whatever. I mean, back when I was 18, but over Christmas here in Thailand, as you know, Brianna, you're part of that. I was feeling pretty shitty, right? Like lonely, and I started to second guess everything. And at one point, I remember because it's everywhere here. Like you drive through the jungle, you smell weed, like because it just got legal about a year ago. So I don't know if it's a novelty or whatever, but it is like, holy shit, it's everywhere. And I remember thinking, like, I could smoke a joint, right? I probably could, really. But here's the thing: I had to tell myself, I was like, wait a minute, you want to do that? Why? It's because you feel shitty right now. It's not because you want to smoke it. It's because you don't want to feel something.
Right.
So let's put that in check. And then I find myself afterwards going, okay, that lonely thing is kind of past now. Like I'm starting to adjust and make some community here. And I don't want to smoke weed. So yeah, right. So that would have been, maybe the weed isn't the problem. The fact is that I wanted to get like to not feel something. And when does that end? Right? When does that end? That's goes from weed to booze because it's in the fucking 7-Eleven here, and then all of a sudden I'm off to wherever, right? So yeah.
And that's exactly what we always like. I think an addict will always weigh their options, right? Yeah. And it's like I believed for years that I wasn't an alcoholic, right? Because I was a drug addict. I didn't realize it's the same thing. Like you're an addict, right?
Yeah.
And I fought for years. Like even in my first round of recovery, I drank all through not doing my DOCs, like any chemicals. And I stopped smoking weed by the time I was 17. My son talked me into smoking a joint one time. And I got so paranoid, like I could smoke crack and go do a eulogy at a funeral, but I smoke a joint. I put my couch in front of the door. You know what I mean? I get all fucked up and in my head and I'm like, fuck this, right? But I believed in my head. Like I actually got removed from a rehab facility because I could not admit that I had a drinking problem. It was like, I'm a drug addict. I'm not going to say alcoholic. There's no way I'm saying alcoholic, but it was like, I would drink to a point of blackout and I would, I can quit anytime, but I never did, but in my mind, it's like, I got this under control. And it's like, And it's funny because, drugs are definitely what took me down. But I was talking to my sister Sharon the other day, and we were having a talk, and I said, and my brother-in-law said, so you don't even drink anymore? Because I drank, man, all the time. Like, I loved drinking. And he was surprised. And I said, yeah, I said, when I quit drugs, I had to quit it all because I can't do any of it, or I will always go back. Right. And my sister goes, what's funny? She goes, that was the one I knew you always had to quit. Yeah. She goes, you thought you had it, but you were a fucking loser when you drank. And it was true, man. Like, I drank, I was fun to a point. I always had a blast. Everybody knew they were going to have fun, but I got to a point where it was just like, and I would just flip and turn into a fucking asshole. And then by the end of it, it's just a fucking nightmare. And drinking does not work for Chad Valyear, man. It's not good.
Likewise, I'm going to say something real quick, and then take. First year and a half in my, in my recovery, I drank. I even switched counselors at my rehab because he's like, well, why do you drink? And he just kept getting on me about it all the time. And I'm like, yo, like, shut up about it. And he won it, so I changed counselors. And then, a year later, I'm getting a DWI with my kids in the car.
Yeah. Well, how many of us really at first want to quit drugs? I think most of us, and I'm not going to speak for everybody. I know myself that all I ever wanted to do was learn how to use drugs successfully. Every time. That's how I wanted.
I'm not drinking every day. I'm only drinking some days. But when I was drinking to blackout. Like, it was never just a couple. Now I can, but that was my wake up.
So Amanda here, I want to bring this one up. I'm sorry, but I'm a stoner, but I'm allowed to because I'm being a cancer patient. Amanda, you've got nothing to apologize for. Amanda, if your life is not getting worse because of what you're doing and it's getting better because you've got rid of something else and you're doing the right thing, don't fucking say sorry for nothing, right?
Yeah, the only if there's consequences for your actions, if there's consequences, that's the only reason why people need to stop.
Yeah,
when your life becomes unmanageable, that's the only reason you need to quit dope.
Amanda, she's good. She's been a supporter for like the last year and a half.
Yeah,
she's been a supporter from the jump. So,
good stuff. Good stuff.
And she's Canadian too.
And not everybody who does drugs is an addict. Yeah. Let's get that clear.
Not Brianna's. What's your?
Where are you from, Amanda?
What's your?
Yeah. I said not like Chad just said. Not everybody that uses drugs abuses them.
Right.
Yeah, true story.
Not everybody that uses drugs is an addict.
Right. Yep. I know a guy that can do a line of coke.
And I've said that, like, we've had like
Ontario.
awareness.
Okay. Chad's in Ontario.
We've had like awareness videos, or we've had conversations, or like how do you notice the signs of somebody like being an addict and stuff. And I always say that not everybody that is using a substance is abusing it. So don't run to your friends and family like someone that you see that has a drink with you every single weekend. Right. They may not be an alcoholic.
And even if they are, is their life unmanageable, right? Yeah. That's all it comes down to. Like, to me, I can't drink or do drugs without some kind of consequence when it's over.
Yeah.
There's always a problem. So it's like, if I never had any consequences, or I didn't blow my fucking life up all the time, why would I stop, right? It didn't affect me in a negative way. So why would I stop?
It's going to be like The Hangover. You're going to fucking wake up in Vegas with a tiger.
Or Thailand.
Thailand. Chuck's gonna wake up with his ass cheeks freaking pierced with
I already got the eyebrow ring. That was my midlife crisis right there, right? Yeah. I said to Mom, I was either that or a 20-year-old Thai girlfriend. So like come on. Right?
Sure. Girlfriend.
Don't touch me.
Chad, that's
girlfriend in Thailand.
That's why he got Sunny.
Ooh, now you're like, that's dangerous ground.
I love Sunny.
You know what? I want to jump on the Sunny thing for a quick second, Brianna, before you do that, because I got to plug my thing. I got Sunny in a Sidecar page going on Facebook, guys. Now, if you want to see some awesome footage of my dog Sunny in my sidecar and at the beach and whatever, check it out. I need the followers, I need the likes and all that stuff. I'm trying to grow that page hard and fast, right? So I moved the content away from the Ashes to Awesome platform. So it was actually kind of a big gamble for me to not, to do that. So come on, check it out, guys. Sunny in the Sidecar. Anyway, Brianna, you were saying?
Oh. I love being here on Fridays. I switched hours with somebody so I can be here, but my anxiety is absolutely out of control.
Oh, why?
No clue. I'm trying to. I
Fair
took
enough.
some
That's a fair
medicine.
answer. Yeah.
But I feel like I'm gonna start like sobbing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go sit in the shower.
Okay. Okay.
I've been telling her like to start talking and stuff to help kind of get her mind off of it.
I can't.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Well, if you're not in the
getting
place,
better
you're not
than
in the
it
place,
was
right?
at first, but it's not. You know, I'll be more of a distracted than adding to this conversation. So
fair enough.
I am gonna go take care of myself.
All right, good for you.
I mean,
hey,
good for you.
I'm proud of you
for being selfish. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's some great awareness, man. I dig that.
Selfish is kind. I tell people that being selfish is kind. It absolutely is.
Yes.
So,
I keep telling that to all my exes, but whatever. I know. Like, no, I'm done. We're good, right?
She's got to go get her rest anyways because we're going snowboarding tomorrow, and she's never been. So.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could go snowboard. I couldn't even finish that with a straight face. I'm going to go to the fucking beach tomorrow. That's what
I have zero fucking interest in snowboarding. I'm good, man.
I don't know.
Chuck's going to go to the beach, and then we're going to go snowboarding.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm going to go swimming with the dog. Get some more sunny in the sidecar footage. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know what, man? It is. It's. I'll tell you the sunny story because why not, right? We don't have any. So I moved down to Phuket and I met somebody at the treatment center who's got some people close to her here that live in Thailand, some expats. Yeah. And they'd found Sunny on the beach, abandoned. There's more stray dogs here than you could possibly, like you can't imagine. In the quarter-mile stretch that I take my dog on for the walk, there's 3 separate packs. Right? Like this is that many of them here, right?
Wow.
So Sunny was abandoned on the beach. You could tell because he knew English commands, like kind of, right?
Okay.
And so they named him Sunny, and they couldn't have another dog at their complex. They could only have the one. So they were trying to search for a home for him. And through our mutual friend, they found me. So the day after I moved here to Krabi, they drove 3 hours from Phuket with Sunny, brought him down to me. And it's like, you're homeless. Like, 3 months ago, I was homeless like 16 months ago. Here we are, man. We're just fucking killing it now. Right. Like it's I love him so much. Hey, right. He's absolutely amazing. So
that better be Jesus texting you.
You talking to God, boy?
I'm gonna read the text now just to be an asshole. Yeah.
Right? Read it.
Show you what's up, right? Yeah.
Let you know who's boss.
Some pictures from back home in Winnipeg, actually. It's a friend out there.
Yeah, I got a cousin in Winnipeg. My cousin Tammy lives in Winnipeg.
Sorry to hear that. I'm sorry.
I had a Winnebago once.
It's worse than Regina. Right?
I had a Winnebago once.
Well, that's relevant. That's relevant. Thanks for jumping in, Jared.
Winnebago.
Yeah.
Doing some Walter White shit,
Yeah.
There you go.
Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah, Mr. Pinkman.
You should pass for a Pinkman. Yeah.
I think you'd be a good Pinkman.
Do you know what the difference between pink and purple is?
Your face?
The grip. I love the judgy look I get from Jared every time. It just makes my heart happy. Right? Like, yeah. Oh, we got.
Do you know why women wear makeup and perfume?
Why?
Because they're ugly and they stink.
Okay. That was his joke. I'm not laughing at it.
Wow. Fucked up.
Oh yeah, we're live.
We're live, and I'd say half the guests are women. Jeez.
More than half. Yeah.
That's all right. I got 8 sisters, man. I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
You need to respect women. They are our betters, and you need to respect them moving forward, please, or please don't come back if you can't do that. There, I got you, ladies. I got you back. Yeah.
He's just trying to score. He's just trying to score brownie points.
And by having their back, do you mean spoon, like Jared Spoons, or?
I don't know that normally I would post this comment up, but given your joke just now and her being your cousin, I'm going to do it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Who's in your bed right now? She says, "Yeah."
Oh, nobody.
Oh, okay.
I sleep by myself.
Fucking Chuck, the way that he said that. Given that that's your cousin, I don't know what's going on.
My niece.
Oh, your niece. Fucking Chuck. Jesus Christ. Oh, see, she said exactly.
Right.
Yeah, well, but the question is who wants to be?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
They get to sleep with a rock star, you know?
Well, not everybody.
What's your band called? What's that all about there, Chad?
I mean, well, no, you should. It's really good, and I'm not biased or anything, but it's actually called Valyear, and it's my last name. But I hate it when bands do that, and we only did it because so every time somebody would leave a band I was in, there was always some kind of discrepancy over who could perform what song, who had a part in writing it. And I mean, there'd be guys who would just sit in the room while we were writing and basically try to take a writing credit, and when I'm in a band, no matter what, like in my band right now, everybody is equal, right? Everybody contributes and nobody cares about who did what. We're just we work well together. But in the past, a lot of times people were getting credit for things they didn't do, and then they would leave and think they were entitled to certain parts of my my band. And it was like every time it turned into that, we'd have to change the name or there was a fight. And my producer said to me, he goes, "Why don't you just call the band Valyear?" And I was like, "Fuck that. Not a chance. I hate it when bands do that, like Bon Jovi or, you know what I mean? Winger. Right?" And I'm just like, "No, there's not going to be any Valyear." And he's like, "Well, how many more times are you going to fight over the copyright? For what, so now, if somebody leaves Valyear, they know what they're leaving." Right.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple. There's no more fights. But not to mention, I've got like the lineup of my band right now, like they're my best friends. Right.
Well, I
and
it's like that goes with recovery and not having that shit around you and all those mitigating factors, like being high when you're being drunk and right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, when you're being a degenerate, you surround yourself with degenerates, right? True and story. That's what I did. Story. Like I very much surrounded myself with people who could tolerate me. Right. And I wasn't an easy guy to be around because even in recovery and being clean, I'm a keyed up guy. Like I'm like an ADD kid all the time. Like there's no fluff with me. I don't know how to just talk shit. Like just like, "Hey, how's the weather? Hey, that car has a fucking camshaft." And like I don't know I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff. It's like, let's talk about some real shit. Right. So imagine me all fucked up on dope. Trying to, you know what I mean? Like and then out from the opiate and then up with the up and then down with the down. And it's just like,
I'm awake now. Can we get back to making this all about me, please? Yeah.
It's allaboutme.com.
Can we start a band, Chuck?
We can. Absolutely.
You guys can open for me anytime you want.
The Spoons.
Oh, Jesus.
My buddy manages those guys, actually. My buddy Johnny. The Spoons,
Brianna said, "Since I won't be there, I want to let everyone know you are loved."
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, we never even told Chad about the outro, so now it's going to be weird for him. Right? There you go.
Wow. What do we do?
Yeah. Brianna you're going to have to see now. It's going to get fucking weird. Yeah.
Brianna said maybe he'll start playing his guitar. Yeah, because I have a guitar, acoustic electric, that's right over there. Fender.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
I can't sing. All I can do is not take shit seriously. It's like my superpower. So like, I don't have
you can
any
hum.
artistic
Why
talent.
don't you hum and play the harmonica?
Oh, just like imitate your mom and hum.
Fucking asshole.
I'm sorry that your mom's a slut. Okay.
Jesus Christ. We're about to cross into deadly waters right now.
You did that when you made reference to me and my dog.
Exactly.
Okay? Right?
Me and my bass player like that. My bass player Joe. It always comes down to mom jokes, right? But we actually do it on stage. Like we'll be up there, and I remember what was it? I was telling everybody I was on stage, and I'm like, hey, you can find us on all streaming sites. Just look up Valyear, and then I was like, be careful though. There's some things I might not want you to see if you find it, right? And Joe made a comment. He's like, "Yeah, like your mom," and I'm like, "Hey, wait a second. She was going through a hard time back then." And it just turned into this, and we're right on stage, and like, fuck, no censorship with us, man.
Okay, back to your music though, Chad. What type of music? Like, what is it? What's going on? What kind of music are you rocking? Tell us
I would say if you had like 3 Days Grace here and Slipknot here, We're somewhere like kind of closer in the middle, like, but leaning on the Slipknot side, you know. Like I sing, I scream. We get compared to bands like Avenged Sevenfold and Disturbed and that kind of stuff, right? And I borrow like Alice in Chains. Like I'm a very big when I think about my top favorite bands, you know, like I listen to stuff like Alice in Chains and Faith No More and The Used and Pantera and early like the old Skid Row. So I saw Pantera by accident when I was 15 years old.
Really?
And they were opening for Skid Row in Peterborough.
No,
and I went there to see Skid Row. I was 15 and Skid Row at the time. So because Sebastian Bach was from Peterborough, right? Yeah. And he was coming back at the height of their career. They just put out Slave to the Grind, and that fucking album was wicked, badass album. I still love it. And I went to see them. And I'd never heard Pantera. I knew nothing about them.
Oh, yeah.
And
so out comes this guy. Did they play the big ones like Cowboys or Primal?
Well, they opened with A New Level, and it was only they were on tour for Vulgar Display of Power.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And they come out with the dun, 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 and I was just like, holy fuck, right? And then Phil comes out and he's like, wow, and like fuck, he's bald, and I'm like, how is he doing this with no hair? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Because I'd never seen a singer that was bald. And I'm telling you, man, after they played, I didn't give a fuck if I saw anyone else. And I'm telling you this, to this very day, nobody has touched them live. Ever for me. Ever. No, man. Nothing. I don't even care to see him now, this version of him. Like Kiss
is like for me the ultimate live show. I wasn't even like Kiss fan. When I like my girlfriend at the time was, and she bought like $100 ticket. This is 25 years ago for me to go. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go. And I was like, the stage show, it's just not. Like, I've seen other bands that I prefer the music like at a live show. Like Tragic for me was like to see them live is just to me that's an
Tragically
honor.
Hip.
Yeah, man. Right.
See, I'm not a fan, but I sat beside Gord Downey on a GO train one time.
Oh yeah, there you go.
By accident, like he just happened to be there, and it's funny because I'm not a fan, and I think that was to my benefit. Because when we shot the shit, I knew who he was, but this thing in me was going, fuck this guy. I'm not showing him. You know what I mean? And we just talked about regular shit. And he was the nicest guy. Like, I'm not joking, just kind. And when I got off the train, I was like, hey, nice to meet you, man. I'm Chad. And he was like, I'm Gord. You know, have a good day. And tell you, we talked about hockey and the fucking weather. And he was just a regular dude on the fucking train. Right?
Dude, two metal bands that are like epic live is Killswitch Engage and All That Remains.
Yeah, like, they're both really good.
Really good. I went a couple of years ago. I saw Killswitch and or not Killswitch, All That Remains and Miss May I and a couple other bands out there, and it was like, but you know,
9 Inch Nails for me back when they were touring for the Downward Spiral. I seen them in Soundgarden and Barrie here in Ontario, and I am telling you, like, first of all, like, I love Chris Cornell, like I love Chris Cornell singing, but 9 Inch Nails destroyed them live. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to follow them, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
you know, there's been bands, you know, who fucking is ridiculous live, and they're like, I don't know a band other than Pantera that touched them. For me, was Mudvayne.
No shit.
Mudvayne were ridiculous, like unbelievable. And I've seen them like 4 or 5 times. Kiss, I've seen like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, I only ever got to see them the once, right? My first show ever was AC/DC Hell's Bells. It was the first one.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like 15 years old. Yeah, that was fucking like, whoa, what's going on here, right? Like, that was nuts.
I went to Ozfest with my mom when I was a baby.
So I went to, how old are you, Jared?
I'm 35.
Oh, okay. I went to Ozfest back, the first one that came to Toronto. And I remember they used to set up things backstage and like, so what would happen is they would get bored because they'd be there all day. So all the guys from different bands would jam, right? So I'm backstage one time and I see all these like guys from like different bands, and there was a singer and he was killing all like old Van Halen, Kiss, you know, just doing all like Love Gun and shit and fucking killing it. And I remember walking up to him after and I said to him, hey man, you're like really good. And he goes, thanks, man. Who are you here to see today? And I was like, well, I'm here to see Slipknot, right? Like, I love Slipknot. He goes, really? He's like, why? And I'm like, well, you know, they're a good band. And he's like, he goes, well, yeah, but the massive shit, I don't give a fuck, man. I like the band. I think they're really good. He goes, you like Corey Taylor, eh? I go, yeah, he's a good singer, man. I think he's really, anyway, man, you were really good. Thanks a lot. Catch you later, right? And I walked away. And then About a year later, Stone Sour came out, and I seen the video for Get Inside, and the dude flipped his hair back, and it was fucking him. It was Corey Taylor. He was basically telling me Slipknot sucked. And he was, you know what I mean? And it was really cool. It was one of those cool moments. Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, we're getting up in time. And Jared, unless there's something you want to say, right? I was going to move into daily gratitudes, right?
No, I was just going to say that Kayla had said, have any of us been to Montebello Rock Fest? No.
Never heard.
No. Never heard. I don't even know what it is.
But we're going to go into daily gratitudes now. So I will let Chuck lead us into that.
All right. Well, as anybody who pays attention knows, my favorite part of the show is the daily gratitudes. And we never forewarned you about it, Chad. So I'm putting you on the spot. What you got for some daily gratitudes for us?
What am I grateful for today? I'm grateful for my, what? Is that what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So I'm grateful for my recovery, first and foremost. I'm grateful for the people in my life that I got back from being in recovery. I'm grateful for the people that never left my side. I'm grateful to be teachable. I'm grateful to have moments like this and meet you guys and hang out on a Friday night. And, I think I'm just grateful to be alive today.
Fair enough, eh? Fair enough. What about you, Jared? What you got for some gratitudes?
So mine was when that gentleman reached out to me and had said that, my episode on Ian Bick was his turning point. And I'm grateful that the good Lord, the higher power, whatever you want to call it, has put me in a position to be able to share my life with other people and in my recovery and to help people along the way. And honestly, like, it was just amazing to hear those words that,
nice.
That, they like, don't stop. You're truly helping people. And that I love it. So I will continue till the day that I die. I will continue to help and I will continue to fight for anybody. So always reach out to me. My inbox is open, but that's what I'm grateful for.
It's a good one, bro. It's a good one.
Awesome.
For myself, every week, it's my dog. It's my goddamn dog. I love him so much. Sonny. He just, he does. He fills my cup every single day, right? Okay, before we do mine, because mine has to be the last one. We better
hold on before you do it. Read Brianna's.
Yeah. Brianna says, Chuck, I'm grateful for your midlife crisis. Every Friday you look different. You can vote on whether or not I keep the glasses around for next time. Jared, I'm grateful for your softness and understanding with me. Aww. Chad, I'm grateful to have recorded with you and found someone who can hang with us. So, there you go. Thanks, Brianna.
Thanks, Brianna. I'm grateful for you guys too.
Yeah, right. So outside of my dog, much like yourself, Jared, I'm going to kind of poach yours from you on that one too, right? It was the message, the conversation I had with Lisa this morning, like to start my day, was pretty fucking awesome, right? Just to know that you're like, it's like somebody somewhere hears it, and that you're not just speaking out into the etherwebs or whatever, it's pretty amazing and all that stuff, right? So, I'm grateful for another great guest. Going to have to chew Casey a new asshole again. For dipping, but it's all good. It's all good. And most of all, and lastly, I'm grateful to every single person who continues to watch, listen, support, like, share, comment, do all of those things down at the bottom, subscribe, whatever platform you're enjoying this from, guys, or watching it from. I shouldn't be so bold as to say enjoying. Anytime you're doing all of these things, you're getting me a little bit closer and us a little bit closer to living our best life. Our best life is to make a humble living, spreading the message. The message is this. If you're in active addiction right now, today could be that day. Today could be the day that you start a lifelong journey. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, call into detox, go to a meeting, go to church, pray. I don't care. Do whatever it is you got to do to get that journey started, because it is so much better than the alternative. If you have a loved one who's suffering an addiction right now, just taking the time to listen to this episode, you just take one more minute out of your day and text that person, let them know they are loved. Use the words, "You are loved." That little glimmer of hope just might be the thing that brings them back.